Okay, so in this section of the tutorial, I'll be explaining to us what plugins are. As a way of defining plugins, you can just say that we can define plugins as components that are used to extend the functionalities of your WordPress sites. Now, by extending functionalities, I mean normally when you install WordPress by default, there are some attributes that come with it by default. But then there are times that you need some functions on your website that does not come with the installation of the WordPress software itself. So in that case, you'll be needing what we refer to as plugins. Let's say, for instance, you design a blog and you want to add something like a contact form. You can use a plugin to achieve that. You might also have a site and you want something like having a slideshow on your website or your blog. There are plugins that you can use for that. So let me just go to the plugin section here, scroll down to your left and click on plugin. If you click on installed plugins, now these are the plugins that come by default with your WordPress installation, and there are just a few of them there. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have like 4 plugins installed here. These are plugins that come by default with your WordPress installation. If you need an additional plugin, and like I said, that plugins extend the functionality of your WordPress site. So let's take for instance that I need an additional plugin for my WordPress site depending on the specification of my clients. You just scroll down and click on add new. Now when you click on add new, it brings you here. Now there are thousands and thousands and thousands of plugins that have been developed for WordPress, and they have different functions. Some of them are free, and for some of them you will actually need to buy them. Now let's take for instance, I want to have a contact form on my, or let me just say I want to create a form on my site. It could be a contact form, it could be a career form, it could just be a form I want to use to get information from my subscribers or from people that are using or from people that are visiting my site. I'll just come in here where you have the keyword search plugins option. I'll just do fonts. Okay, so what it does is it gives me a list of different plugins that I can use for forms. Like one of those popular plugins is Ninja Forms. With Ninja Forms you can actually create any type of form, whether contact form, career form and stuff like that. If you click on more details, okay, so it gives you a brief description of what that particular plugin can do, and if you read this you can see what this particular plugin can do. It has an intuitive user interface, no limitation on the number of form fields, emails, actions or submissions, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on like that. Then it shows you how you can install, shows you frequently asked questions related to that particular plugin, and this is just one plugin. Change log, it shows you screenshots. Okay, so you can see the different form fields. This is a contact me form in their screenshot, so you can have name, email, message and then submit. So what this means is if I install this plugin like as it is now, I can actually create a contact form on my site with the aid of this plugin. I'll still explain to us how we use these plugins in more details, but for now just understand that if for instance you are designing a blog and there is a particular feature that you want to have on the blog or a particular function that you want to have on the blog, it could be you want to have a gallery for picture, it could be that you want to have slideshow on your blog, it could be that you want to have a contact form like we have here, or there is a particular function that your client is asking for. You just come to this plugin section of your WordPress and try and see if a plugin has been developed that can actually carry out that function. And like I said, some of those plugins, they are free. For some of them you will need to pay for them. So in the next section we'll start actual work and then start designing our blog.